When we first looked at the results, it was astonishing. We've had to rethink the history of technology completely as a result of this single object.
For over 2,000 years, a strange, corroded object lay silent beneath the Aegean Sea. What looked like nothing more than a lump of bronze turned out to be the world's first computer. Built centuries before modern science even had a name. Historians called it the Antikythera mechanism, and for decades, no one could explain how or why it existed. But recently, something unprecedented happened. An artificial intelligence was given access to every fragment, every inscription, and every unsolved equation carved into the mechanism's ancient gears. What it uncovered didn't just rewrite history. It terrified the researchers who built it. Because if this discovery is true, then our understanding of ancient civilization might be a lie. What did the AI find hidden inside the Antikythera mechanism? And why are some scientists saying the world wasn't supposed to know? Stay tuned to know more. The impossible discovery. The bronze lump sat on the table like it didn't belong at that time. 2,000 years underwater had chewed away at its surface, and green corrosion clung to the metal like a second skin. It felt heavy in the hands, crumbling at the edges, falling apart like something diseased. But beneath all that decay, something shone. Dr. Valerios Stais leaned in, peering through his lens. The year is 1902, and what he sees sends a chill down his spine. Tiny, sharp metal teeth, gears crafted with shocking precision. They're no bigger than coins, yet they fit together like parts of a modern machine. Gears like these weren't supposed to exist for another 1,200 years. The corroded mass breaks open, like fruit gone bad, revealing something far stranger inside. 82 pieces scattered across the table, each one part of a puzzle no one was ready for. One of the largest gears is 13 centimeters across, with exactly 233 teeth, each one carved so finely it could pass for modern engineering. But this device is older than the first mechanical clock by more than 1,000 years. Across the bronze, ancient Greek letters are scratched into the metal. Some read, "Ray of the Sun." Others mention Aphrodite and long-forgotten Egyptian months. The words seem to be carved in a hurry, like someone desperate to save knowledge they feared would vanish. The room filled with stunned silence as scientists gathered around the pieces. They counted the gears, 30, then more. Each one fitted into the next with eerie accuracy. The work was so clean, so precise, it would need tools no one thought existed in the ancient world. And the bronze itself? Recycled, likely taken from even older machines, hinting at a technology that goes back even further than anyone imagined. Some of the smallest teeth are just 1 millimeter long, cut by hand, at a time when most people couldn't even write their names. It's not just impressive, it's unsettling. And there's more. X-rays showed hidden parts still locked deep inside the lump, layers of gears still untouched by air, all connected in a design so advanced it looked like something built to calculate the future. Ancient Greeks were supposed to have pulleys and levers. Not this. Panic rippled through the academic Asia world. Minor. Some delicate called it Egyptian glassware. Others said it came and buried beneath it all, wrapped tightly in cloth as though meant to stay forgotten, was a mysterious bronze device that no one would comprehend for the next 2,000 years. The storm didn't show mercy. The ship went down fast, taking at least 4 crew members with it, faces and names erased by time. The wreck came to rest off the island of Antikythera, a place feared for its pirates, wrecks, and whispered legends. Salt water began devouring wood and metal, but the sea guarded its secret well. Nearly 18 centuries slipped by. Then, In 1900, sponge divers from the island of Symi arrived, searching for sponges to support their families. One diver, Elias Lykopantis, plunged 40 meters below the surface, expecting silence and sand. Instead, he shot back up in shock, gasping, trembling. On the seafloor, he said, were bodies, rows of them, like soldiers lost in battle. The captain, Demetrius Kondos, assumed the deep had muddled his mind. But Elias's terrified eyes told another story. Kondos dove himself to see the truth. What he found were statues, massive bronze and marble figures scattered across the ocean floor. Faces, limbs, torsos, like gods frozen mid-movement. He surfaced clutching a bronze arm. Word spread quickly. Soon, the Greek government sent archaeologists to investigate, beginning the world's first underwater archaeological excavation. What they discovered made no sense. The artifacts didn't belong to one time or place. They came from everywhere. Some called it fake. Others said it came from a later shipwreck. But the fragments wouldn't stop speaking. They sat there, plain as day, saying one terrifying thing. History got it wrong. This machine would take over 100 years to fully understand. But from the very first moment, one truth became clear. This wasn't humanity's first climb up the mountain of knowledge. We had done this before, and we lost it all. But this corroded bronze computer didn't just appear from nowhere. It came from a shipwreck that would rewrite archaeology forever. What secrets were hidden in that ancient cargo hold, shipwreck, that changed history? The Mediterranean was restless in 60 BCE. Waves crashed against a wooden merchant ship, while fierce winds shredded its sails. The sea seemed angry, almost as if it sensed what was hidden inside. This vessel carried far more than just wine and oil. Deep in its hold lay strange treasures: bronze statues from Greece, marble figures from Asia Minor, delicate coins dated between 76 and 67 BCE offered a clue to the ship's age, but the cargo told a larger story. These weren't simple trade goods. Whoever owned this ship had gathered masterpieces of science and art, rare works from across civilizations. Hidden among nearly 100 sculptures was something unexpected: a corroded lump of bronze filled with tiny gears, intricate, precise, impossibly advanced for its era. Years of research revealed the truth. This ship wasn't just carrying wealth, it carried knowledge. Each object seemed deliberately chosen, perhaps by scholars collaborating across distant lands. The cargo connected Greece, Egypt, and Rome, hinting at an ancient network of thinkers sharing discoveries long before borders existed. The divers thought they had found treasure. Instead, they uncovered a message, a reminder that civilizations rise and fall, and that we're not as groundbreaking as we imagine. Because when scientists finally examined that bronze device, what they found didn't just surprise them, it shattered everything we thought we knew. How could such complex technology have existed 2,000 years ago? World's first computer revealed. When scientists first began scraping away the corroded bronze, they weren't ready for what appeared beneath. Dozens of gears glimmered through the decay, 69 in total. These weren't rough, hand-cut wheels. Each one was carved with stunning precision, their tiny teeth just a millimeter long. It was the kind of craftsmanship you'd expect from a modern watchmaker, not an artisan living 2,000 years ago. And every single gear had a purpose. The largest gear measured 13 centimeters across, perfectly cut with 233 teeth. Somehow, the makers of this device understood gear ratios that still challenge modern engineers. But the gears were only part of the mystery. On its front was a circular dial bordered with markings. The inner ring divided the zodiac into 12 neat sections of 30 degrees each. This wasn't decoration, It was built to trace the movement of the sun through the heavens with a precision few believed ancient people capable of. The outer ring aligned with the Egyptian calendar, and it even compensated for the calendar's slow drift over time, something modern astronomers had to rediscover centuries later. Yet someone, over 2,000 years ago, had already mastered it and engineered a device to follow it. But the most shocking part was what the machine could predict. Connected to a lunar pointer was a tiny sphere, half white and half black, that rotated to reveal the moon's exact phase on any day. The gears behind it mimicked the moon's uneven orbit, speeding and slowing just as it does in the sky. Such advanced modeling wouldn't appear again until the Renaissance, over 1,000 years later. Turning to the back revealed 5 more dials that work together to forecast eclipses using the Saros cycle, an ancient system for predicting when the sun would vanish from view. This bronze mechanism could foresee solar eclipses years in advance, just by turning a crank. It even recorded the schedule of the Olympic Games and other festivals, as if time, astronomy, and culture were all connected through its gears. Tiny Greek inscriptions covered the metal, a kind of user manual etched into bronze. Researchers have deciphered around 3,000 of an estimated 15,000 characters so far. What they've translated explains how to read the dials and operate the machine, a complete scientific instrument hidden in metal. The level of craftsmanship required would have taken expert teams years to perfect. And this may not have been the only one ever made. Ancient writings hint at other such devices, perhaps designed by Archimedes himself. As scientists uncovered the Antikythera mechanism's secrets, they were left speechless. What they had found? How could it exist? How could minds from so long ago have created something so astonishing? The precision that shouldn't exist. Modern watchmakers studying the Antikythera mechanism often come away stunned. The gear teeth? Each one is exactly 1 millimeter long, cut with a level of accuracy that today's finest Swiss engineers would admire. The bronze wasn't just shaped, it was hammered, filed, and calibrated with such care that modern scientists would need electron microscopes to fully understand it. And the gears themselves told a story that shouldn't be possible. Each tooth was carved and filed by hand, precise, clean, and perfectly shaped to fit into the next. The metal wasn't random either. It was a specific mix of bronze, made to reduce friction and help the parts last longer. Whoever built this understood how to design machines that could keep working smoothly for years. That level of knowledge wouldn't return until the Industrial Revolution. But this is where the mystery gets even stranger. This wasn't a one-time invention. An ancient Roman named Cicero wrote about similar machines made by Archimedes and the philosopher Posidonius. He said they could show the movements of the stars and even predict eclipses. These weren't legends or guesses. They were real machines that worked just like the Antikythera mechanism. That's where the economics of it all painted a darker picture. Building one of these devices wasn't cheap or simple. It would have taken thousands of hours of labor from skilled metalworkers, astronomers, and craftsmen. It likely cost more than most people could ever afford. Maybe as much as building a full-scale modern research lab. That means these machines weren't made for ordinary people. They were tools or trophies for the wealthy and powerful, rulers, elite scholars, maybe royal astronomers, people who had the money and influence to gather the best minds of the ancient world and put them to work building machines that could read the stars. These devices weren't about public learning. They were private tools meant for those at the top. And that changes everything. If machines this advanced existed 2,000 years ago, what else did those elite groups know that never made it into public records? What technologies were created, used, and then hidden away? The way the mechanism was built said a lot. It came in a wooden box sealed with bronze plates. One knob turned the whole system, and it was covered in tiny Greek letters, like a personal manual, not meant for the masses. Whoever used it already understood what the stars and calendars meant. They didn't need lessons. They needed results. Some researchers believe these machines were passed down within wealthy families, guarded like treasure. They gave their owners control over time itself, when to hold festivals, when to plant crops, when the sun would disappear from the sky. But one question still haunts historians. If ancient Greece had computers like this, what else have we lost? What other secrets vanished when the last machine was destroyed or melted down for scrap? The only reason the Antikythera mechanism survived was because it went down with a ship and stayed buried for 2,000 years. The rest? Gone. Recycled, hidden, or destroyed. But the most chilling part comes when experts follow the trail back to who may have built it, only to uncover links pointing directly to the greatest genius of the ancient world. The lost civilization theory. The Antikythera mechanism doesn't just question what we thought we knew about ancient Greek technology. It completely rewrites the story of human progress. This mysterious device points to something few are willing to imagine: that advanced civilizations might have existed and vanished long before ours, leaving behind only scattered traces of their brilliance. Hidden within its intricate gears lies a message that's impossible to ignore. Building such precise epicyclic gearing should have been far beyond the reach of anyone before the Renaissance. The astronomical calculations built into the device are as complex as those used in 20th century computer programs. Yet someone in ancient Greece already understood all this, centuries before the rest of humanity caught up. This wasn't a slow, steady climb of invention. It was a sudden leap that defies every normal timeline of development. And the Antikythera mechanism isn't the only mystery of its kind. All through history, artifacts have appeared that suggest humanity may have reached this level of sophistication before. The Baghdad battery hints that people in Mesopotamia might have grasped electricity long ago. The Lycurgus cup changes color in the light because of nanostructures made in the 4th century. Damascus steel was created with a method so advanced that it vanished for centuries before modern science could reproduce it. These discoveries aren't coincidences. Together, they paint a picture that points toward a haunting possibility: that human civilization runs in cycles. We rise, we create, and then we fall, each time erasing the memories of what came before. Perhaps there were societies with deep understanding of engineering, astronomy, and science that vanished after disaster or war. The Antikythera mechanism might be the surviving proof of one of those lost golden ages. Around 1200 BCE, the Bronze Age collapsed, wiping out entire cultures. The burning of the Library of Alexandria erased thousands of scrolls filled with knowledge we'll never know. When Rome fell, much of the Western world sank into centuries of stagnation. In every collapse, generations of learning disappeared. The thought that lingers in researchers' minds is this: if mechanical computers like the Antikythera mechanism truly existed, what else was lost with them? What other masterpieces were destroyed, hidden, or simply forgotten? This device endured only because it sank to the sea floor, shielded from time, looters, and melting furnaces. Its survival proves that ancient scientists had a grasp of the cosmos that's still astonishing today. They used mathematics to map planetary paths, predict eclipses, and mark celestial events with a precision that medieval astronomers could barely imagine. This wasn't mythology or superstition. It was real, testable science, and it vanished. The comforting idea that human progress always moves forward shatters under this evidence. History may not be a straight climb upward, but a spiral. We rise to remarkable heights, fall into darkness, and rise again, losing almost everything each time. The Antikythera mechanism could be a relic from one of those earlier peaks, a moment when science, mathematics, and engineering reached a level that would still seem futuristic today. If that's true, then our modern world isn't breaking new ground at all. We're rediscovering old ones. Our technology might only echo inventions crafted long ago by civilizations erased by catastrophe or neglect. Inside that corroded bronze box, ancient gears once turned with astonishing accuracy, calculating planetary movements that astronomers still debate today. They tracked cosmic cycles, now studied through powerful telescopes. They embodied a mastery of the universe that had already been achieved, and then forgotten. What if this device wasn't the genius of one brilliant individual, but a glimpse of something far more unsettling? The terrifying truth. For over 100 years, the corroded bronze fragments sat quietly in a museum's storage, hiding secrets that would disturb even the most skeptical scientists. The rediscovery began not with a dramatic breakthrough, but with a quiet sense of unease. Curators noticed something strange. Records showed only 3 main pieces of the mechanism. Yet when researchers used advanced imaging technology, they uncovered 82 separate fragments. That meant someone, at some point in history, had hidden the true scale of the device. Among the missing pieces were inscriptions that completely changed how the mechanism was understood, its purpose, its meaning, and its mystery. Modern technology soon exposed what the naked eye had overlooked for generations. CT scans sliced through layers of corrosion, revealing hidden gears and systems that no one believed ancient engineers could have constructed. Reflectance, transformation imaging uncovered faint Greek inscriptions etched into areas so small they were carved onto gear teeth thinner than a fingernail. The level of precision defied every expectation of what people 2,000 years ago could achieve. Then artificial intelligence joined the investigation. Machine learning programs analyzed the fragmented texts, comparing them with tens of thousands of historical documents. What they uncovered left researchers stunned. They believed their inventions needed to stay buried, but that warning has already been ignored. As researchers continue to dig, one haunting thought overshadows every new find. If these machines were hidden to protect humanity from their power, what could happen now that we've begun to uncover them? Other forgotten technologies might still be sleeping underground, not lost by chance, but buried intentionally by those who knew exactly what might happen if their secrets ever came to light. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to keep exploring mysteries like this, click the video on your screen. See you on the other side.